Teacher Talking Sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And let's continue this series I've been doing where I attempt to name the best player in each NFL franchise's history. Their all-time GOAT. I've been doing these in alphabetical order. And today we land on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Steelers were actually known as the Pittsburgh Pirates. Shout out to Willie Stargell and Roberto Clemente. In their inaugural season of 1933 until 1939. From the 1940 season on, they have been known as the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have a 92 season history in the NFL. Now, 2 off seasons ago, I did my NFL Mount Rushmores by team. 4 best players in each NFL team's history in my eyes. Last offseason, I did my NFL Mount Rushmore by position. 4 best players in each position NFL history. So before I go name the best player in team history, I've been revisiting these Mount Rushmores, see if maybe I would make any changes. Now we know the Steelers own the 1970s, and this list includes players from the 1970s, this Mount Rushmore. Starting off alphabetical order, Terry Bradshaw, starting quarterback for 4 Super Bowl teams, 1978 MVP. Mean Joe Green, also member of all 4 Super Bowl championships. Jack Ham, linebacker, also member of 4 Super Bowl championships in the 1970s. And another linebacker, Jack Lambert. Yes, he was also a member of all 4 Super Bowl winning teams in the 1970s. Of course, the storied franchise has had a bunch of great players. Some honorable mentions include Ben Roethlisberger, Heinz Ward, Lynn Swann, John Stallworth, Jerome Bettis, Franco Harris, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Dermontti Dawson, Alan Faneca, and Ernie Stautner, to name a few. There's a bunch more that I could have included. So very challenging Mount Rushmore. Really, any of these guys from the 70s have a case to be on, including some of the honorable mentions to be named as the GOAT. But in the end, I went with defensive tackle Mean Joe Green. Green was selected 4th overall in the 1969 NFL Draft. First ballot Hall of Famer in 1987. Green's career lasted 13 seasons, all of which came with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Green was twice named Defensive Player of the Year in 1972 and 1974. Also had Defensive Player of the Year finishes of 3rd, 5th, and 8th in his career. Let's take a look at his season numbers via Pro Football Reference. Back then, they didn't have as many stats available. Sacks weren't an official stat, but Pro Football Reference does have sacks from 1960 on. So it credits Green for 77.5 sacks in his career. Also picked off a pass. Pro Football Reference has something called approximate value. Basically, if you're a 10 or higher, you definitely had an excellent season. Green had 8 straight seasons of that, including a high of 18 in 1972. Green was named to the Pro Bowl in 10 of his first 11 seasons, and the one season he wasn't, 1977, he was a first-team All-Pro. 4 first-team All-Pros, including 3 straight seasons from 72 to 74. He was the Defensive Rookie of the Year in 1969. Credited for 7 sacks in his 17 postseason games. Also intercepted a pass. And as mentioned, he won 4 Super Bowls with the Steelers. Gil Brandt of NFL.com listed Green as his 2nd best defensive tackle of all time, only behind Bob Lilly of the Dallas Cowboys. The Athletic did their top 100 players 1 or 2 years ago, and they had Mean Joe Green as the 14th best player in NFL history. Again, one of the best defensive players of all time. on third downs, man. One of the best third down players ever. Both at stopping the run and rushing the quarterback. This was a tough one, but in the end, I'm going with Mean Joe Green as my best player in Pittsburgh Steelers history. Really, my second choice was Jack Lambert, and I thought long and hard about putting him over Green, but in the end, I gave Green the slight advantage, and I mean, it's a slight advantage over many players in this storied franchise's history. But let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Was Mean Joe Green the best player in Steelers history? With all of these, I take a look at the active roster and see if really any active players have a chance to overtake the GOAT or at least possibly reach the Mount Rushmore. Nobody's passing Mean Joe Green on this active roster. And again, with four Super Bowl all these guys won 4 Super Bowls. I can't envision anyone reaching the Mount Rushmore. A guy like Minka Fitzpatrick, he's been a 3-time first team All-Pro with the Steelers. Otherwise, George Pickens had a good 2023 season at wide receiver. Cam Hayward, defensive tackles, made 6 Pro Bowls, 3-time first team All-Pro, and 80.5 sacks with the Steelers. But no, none of these guys are making the Mount Rushmore. Of course, that quarterback, they got 2 new ones in Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. But interesting team to do. So many names. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Doing the San Francisco 49ers, and that is another team with so many superb players, and I got to decide which of 2 guys I'm taking for the best player in team history. But stay tuned for that. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.